Kuwait pilot videos are powered by Virtual Fly. Hello there friends and followers, and welcome to this Explain 11 video. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Kuwait City, and today we're going to be flying to Sharm El-Shaikh. I welcome you all aboard this Jazeera Flight 745, and we are going to be cruising at 34,000 feet today, and our approximate flight time is 2 hours and 40 minutes. Let's get things started by connecting the ground equipment to the aircraft. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over here to this iPad. We're going to connect the ground power unit, the fuel truck, the passenger stairs, and the cargo loaders as well. I'm going to head to fuel. We're going to need 10,000 kilos of fuel today. So that's about right there, and set. Passengers, we're going to do a full, so we're going to fly with the aircraft full of passengers today, maximum load in all classes, business and economy. I've flown Jazeera once, I believe, and they don't really have a, at the time they didn't really have a business cabin. I'm not sure if they do now. Cargo, and we're going to actually fly with maximum cargo as well. There we go, set. Okay, let's see how that, changes things for us. So we are good now. We can remove the baggage loaders, we can remove the passenger truck and the fuel truck as well. Supply, ground power unit, that we're gonna need. Let's head over to the overhead panel now, and we're gonna turn on our batteries, battery 1, battery 2, and we're going to connect the external power. There we go. And the first thing we're going to do, we're going to set the ADIRS to nav mode. There we go. And everything else looks good here. We're going to turn on our fuel pumps. And everything else looks good here. Crew supply. Nav lights are on. And fasten seatbelt signs are on. Non-smoking signs are on. And everything else looks good here as far as the overhead panel is concerned. Let's head back down here and set things up. We are going to begin programming the FMC. So let's bring it up. And initialization. We are flying today from Oscar Kilo Bravo Kilo, which is Kuwait, and our destination is Hotel Echo Sierra Hotel. Yep, that's Sharm El-Shaikh. And we stick that here. Return. Flight number today is Jazeera 745. Jazeera 745. And the cost index, according to our flight plan, if we take a quick look here, is 53. Cruise altitude is 34,000 feet. RS align. We're going to just click on align on ref, confirm, and return. Head over to our flight plan. And departure today is runway 15 left through the Coffer 3 Echo departure and through the NEDAB transition. Insert. And let's head over here and take a look at our flight plan. So we're going to take airway UL 550 to Aston. Click here, Airways UL 550 to Aston. And then the next waypoint, what we're going to do is we're just going to take, this is Airway V13, and this is the exit point at Tango Bravo Kilo. So we're just going to put Tango Bravo Kilo here, Tango Bravo Kilo, and it will automatically put the airway here. And the next one would be the GPAG from Airway Yankee 333. So we're just going to put GPAG
17 Tango Lima, contact approach 121.1.
Pad. There we go. And then we're gonna take Airway Quebec 510 to Passam.
The wind is 120 degrees, 1 knots, runway 10, clear to take off.
That's Passam. Right here. And then it is our approach into Sharm El-Shaikh at Passam 1 Foxtrot, runway 04 left. Okay, so we're going to insert that, and then it is our destination here, arrival, ILS 04 left, through the Passam 1 Foxtrot, and there is no via, so we're going to say return, insert, and let's check our flight plan for discontinuities. There's one disco here. We're going to clear that and insert. And now the flight plan looks okay. We're going to head back over to initialization, and we're going to go to the fuel prediction, and we're just going to say request weight here, and it should load the aircraft fuel, zero fuel center of gravity, and the block fuel automatically for you. Now we can head over to performance. We can click here for V2, we rotate, and V1 we're just going to enter 146. We're going to need the performance data, which is available on the iPad here. So we're going to click on performance data, and we are interested in the trim position. So we're just going to say set. It's down 1.09. So we're just going to say down. Sorry. We need to say flaps 1 for departure, and then down 1.9. That's set, and the flex temperature is 67, and we are now good to go. Okay, flight plan, and we can now link that here. We'll put this on preference so we have all our takeoff data, and we just need to set the trim once the aircraft is powered up and we have access to our hydraulics. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on the APU. We're going to set the flight level to 34,000 feet. So altitude is now set. Let's go ahead and listen to the ATIS, and we're going to do so on frequency 1220, which is the active sky frequency.
Oscar, Kilo, Bravo, Kilo, airport information, Charlie, 1600, Zulu, weather, wind, 076, at 10, visibility, 10,000, sky clear, temperature, 24, dew point, 17, QNH, 1008, advice on initial contact, you have information, Charlie.
Okay, information Charlie. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Kuwait City,
Oscar,
and visibility is good, everything looks good. Let's take a look here at the APU. Ooh, we did not start the APU. Alright, so we started the APU now. And everything else checks okay to me. So we're just going to wait now for the APU. And once we start the APU, we're going to disconnect the ground power unit. And we're going to summon the ground services to push back from our position and depart Kuwait. Alright, the APU is now available, so the APU bleed is coming on, and we can now disconnect the external power. And we can remove the ground power unit here, and we are pretty much now good to go. Everything is looking good. We're gonna turn on the beacons, and we can now call the pushback truck to push out of our position.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, let's release the parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engine.
Alright, so we've been cleared to start our engines now. Let's take the engine mode selector to start. Okay, and let's start the engine number 2.
Messenger 4 Quebec Romeo, wind 120.
Okay, we have a good start on the engine number 2. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1.
Shamrock 119, wind 120 degrees 19 knots, runway 10, clear to land.
Alright, let's set the parking brake.
Disconnecting tow, stand by.
And it looks like we have a good start on both engines. Engine mode selector to normal. And we can now turn off the APU bleed, APU master. And let's see here. Auto brake on max. And we're going to arm the speed brake. Flaps 1.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Perfect. Thank you for your service. We are all set now. Let's turn on our lights. We're going to turn on the taxi light, runway turn-off lights, and the wing lights. And we're going to wait for the rest until we are in closer proximity to our departing runway, which is just to our left. So all is good. Let's set the TCAS here. We're going to squawk 2000 for this IFR flight. And TARA. Okay, we are good to go. Let's release the parking brake. And let's head over to the runway. Alright, let's test the takeoff config. Takeoff config is normal, there are no blues, and we are now ready to go. Alright, let's make our final stop here before departure. And let's set the parking brake. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, landing lights are on. Nose light to takeoff. Strobes are on. And everything else is looking good. So let's release the parking brake and let's depart Kuwait.
Approaching 15 left.
Target A, Ryanair Air Diner, Tango Kilo, Island 1085.
Ryanair 9 Tango Kilo, good day, number 2, continue surface wind 120 degrees, 12 knots. Number 2, traffic to depart.
Right, let's get lined up.
On runway 15 left.
Okay, and we're going to take N1 to about 50%. Stable. And let's go. Right. Rotation speed is about 146. Well, actually 150. 146 is V1. And we're flying pretty heavy today, so we're going to need all the runway. Probably not. It's a long runway here at runway 15 left. Okay, rotate. Alright, and positive rate of climb. Gear is going up.
Too low, terrain.
Right, and climbs thrust. Let's begin our turn. And let's engage the autopilot. Okay, we're looking good. Let's disarm the speed brakes. And flaps 1, actually flaps up. There we go. And all is looking good now. And we're going to start climbing now to 34,000 feet. And as you can see, the speed is increasing now to 250 knots. Alright, we continue our climb now to our cruise altitude. Everything is looking good at the moment. Let's increase the range here a bit. There we go. Passing 6,000 feet. There's a little bit of turbulence here, but nothing too serious. And we are on our way to Sharm El-Shaikh, ladies and gentlemen. And we are now approaching 10,000 feet. And we're going to momentarily release the cabin crew so they can service our passengers. 10,000 feet. And we're going to turn off the landing lights. And we don't need the nose lights either, or the runway turn off lights. We can turn off the wing lights as well. And everything else is good. Okay, so we are on our way to Sharm El-Shaikh. As you can see now, we have begun to increase our speed, as we are now beyond the 10,000 feet mark, and we can turn off the seatbelt signs. Okay, everything's looking good, and I will see you guys as soon as we level off at 34,000 feet, which is our final cruise altitude. Welcome back, folks. We are now cruising at 34,000 feet, which is our final cruising altitude today. Everything is looking good for the remainder of our flight into Sharm El-Shaikh. And a couple of things I wanted to share with you. One was that I'm working on several updates to the Kuwait Pilot website. I will be including my X-Plane 11 settings, P3D settings, a couple of guides on how to install scenery, include some useful resources there for you. So that's one thing. The other thing is that I'm planning a series of full flight videos where the destination of each full flight video will serve as the origin of the next full flight video. So kind of introduce some continuity into those full flight videos, make it a little more interesting. Of course, flying different airlines and flying into different destinations and flying different aircraft. I know a lot of you have been asking me to do the 787 video for P3D, as I have done quite a bit of A320s and 737s for X-Plane, which is true, but it looks like you guys still like that the most. But I do plan on making the full videos, the full flight videos, using both simulators. It's going to be a bit hard to enforce my continuity rule, but I will do my best to make it interesting for you guys. So all is looking good now. Let's take a quick look at the weather at our destination. So we're going to go to conditions here, and let's put in cache. Okay, so at Sharm El-Shaikh we can expect 26 Celsius, about 2 degrees hotter than Kuwait, 24 Celsius. Surface winds 360 degrees, 10 knots. Looks alright to me, but we might have, depending on the runway heading. But visibility is okay, no precipitation, and pressure is 1011. So yeah, so everything looks good here. If we look at the METAR information, no significant change yet. Yeah, so everything is looking good in terms of the weather, and I'm gonna let you guys now enjoy the flight, and we'll check back with you right before we begin the preparation for our approach and landing into Sharm El-Shaikh. Welcome back, folks. We are approaching our destination, and we're going to enter the approach data now. We're going to head over to Next phase approach, QNH. Let's check the QNH at Sharm El-Shaikh. 1011. The temperature is 26 Celsius. And the wind is 10 knots at 360 degrees. 360, 10 knots. Transition altitude in Sharm El-Shaikh is 11,000 feet. VIAT is 157. We're pretty heavy. And DH is 254. And we are now pretty much ready. We're going to reset the MCP altitude. Let me switch this back here. We're going to reset the MCP altitude to 4,000 feet, which is the first and only restriction we're going to face as we make our way into Sharm El-Shaikh. So that's 4,000 feet, and we are good. Okay, so the only thing that is remaining now is for us to wait until we reach the top of descent point, and at that point we're going to begin the descent to 4,000. Everything is looking good at the moment, and all aircraft systems are operational per design intent. Okay, I'll see you in just a bit, and then we'll begin our descent into Sharm El-Shaikh. We are now approaching our top of descent point. We are in fact 5 nautical miles from the top of descent point. I think we are close enough, so I'm going to go ahead and begin the descent. We're going to do an open descent. And just one thing to note, when you are in open descent mode, the thrust is going to go to idle. And as you can see now, we have begun the descent. I have been to Sharm El-Shaikh once, a few years ago. It's a nice place to visit if you like the beach and the beach activities, snorkeling and really diving into some really beautiful coral reefs. There have been a few accidents though with sharks, so you might want to be careful. I think there were a couple of incidents with sharks in Sharm El-Shaikh, but since then the authorities have made precautions to ensure that those accidents do not repeat. The weather is quite hot in the summer and quite humid at times as well, but you can really enjoy the outdoor activities in Sharm El-Shaikh. Really a nice place to visit. They've got some really nice hotels. You have to be careful with what you eat when you are there. The food is not always clean, so make sure that you don't buy food off the stands. Make sure that you always eat at the hotel. That's been my experience, so that would be my recommendation. Otherwise, it's really a fun place to be for a quick, weekend getaway. A couple of days and something like that, just to refresh, recuperate. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it for a weekend getaway if it's not too far from where you live, or you can use it as a hop if you're traveling to this part of the world. So on your way, for example, to Dubai, if you're going to Dubai, you can hop there for a few days and then continue your destination, or do it on the way back. But yeah, overall, I think Sharm El-Shaikh is an enjoyable destination, especially for those who like the outdoor activities. We are continuing our descent now. We are at 25 going to 4,000, and I can see now that the rate of descent has decreased. It started pretty fast and it has stabilized now. All's looking good. The terrain around Sharm El-Shaikh is slightly mountainous. You'll see a few mountains on the way, but it's mainly desert, just like it is the case in Kuwait. So there's no green to enjoy throughout the flight. but it's a nice approach into Sharm El-Shaikh. We are going to be approaching the airport shortly. Okay, so I'll see you guys as we progress when we are closer to our destination, but for now just enjoy the flight. We are approaching the transition altitude here at Sharm El-Shaikh, 11,000 feet. So we're going to switch the QNH now to 1011, and we'll do the same thing here. There we go, 1011. Alright, and as you can see now, we're reducing our speed to 250 knots as we approach the 10,000 mark. Let's go ahead and turn on the landing system. Landing system is now on, and I had actually the speed brakes extended. So we're gonna arm the speed brakes now. And we're gonna set auto brake to medium. And that is 10,000 mark. We are gonna turn on our landing lights. And we're going to continue our descent to 4,000 feet. We have reached the restriction point, so we are at 4,000 feet now, and we will be decelerating momentarily. What we can do at this point is reset the MCP altitude to 2,000 feet, and we're going to begin the descent momentarily. As you can see, this is the airport, so that's the airport actually right there to our right, and we're going to be making a right turn to intercept the ILS and then land the aircraft. All's looking good. That's the airport right there, that's the runway. So at this point we're going to begin the descent to 2,000 feet, so we're going to initiate open descent again to 2,000. And we're going to head over to let's see here, we're going to activate the approach, confirm. And as you can see now, we have begun the descent as well as deceleration. We're going to turn on the rest of our lights, runway turn-off lights and nose lights as well. There we go. We have now intercepted the localizer. And that's the runway ahead of us now. Okay, and at this point we're going to drop the landing gear. All's looking good for our approach.
1,000.
Approaching 04 left.
500. 400.
Okay, we're a bit too fast. I'm going to go ahead and
300.
take over.
Minimum 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20.
Long landing, 8,000 feet remaining, 7,000 remaining.
That was a really terrible landing, and I'm not sure why the speed wasn't, we had it in managed speeds, but for some reason things didn't really work out for me here. Well, welcome to Sharm El-Shaikh. We've made it safely nevertheless. Looks like the brakes are hot. Let's turn on the brake fans. And we'll take a look at the landing momentarily as soon as we park the aircraft at the gate. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our landing. Well folks, this is pretty much it for our video today. Our landing was a terrible landing. It was a hard landing as well, but in the end we've made it safely here to Sharm El-Shaikh. Our next full flight video will originate from Sharm El-Shaikh, and I will pick a destination for you. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.